So I'm using paint this time, it's experimental, to show you how we do the warping to make a guitar fretboard. And it's very helpful in understanding guitar the way that I've learned it. So this is a G shape. I know it said don't worry about these. I'll explain. So the G shape, you know, is 6/7 root. Now why is that? Because when you play a G chord, key of G, the E note becomes the 6th. So you have on the bottom string 6/7 root. There's your F sharp, here's the G. So that has been assigned the G shape. And the next note, the next string up is going to be the D shape, which is the 2, the 3, and the 4. And in the G, key of G, the 2 would be A, the 3 would be B, and the C would be the 4th. Okay, and then we go to the A shape. The 5th of G is C, right? The 5th of G is D, sorry. So that's your D string right there. And the 6th of G is the E again, that's your octave E. But remember, this isn't a G major scale. Okay? We're looking at it as a G triad, G arpeggio. Alright, so we don't have those other notes because making this, we want to use this to make arpeggios quickly, to practice them and to look at their shape. Now from R to R, that's about it. Major third, minor third, perfect fourth. And it's just going to repeat from there. Major third, but now an on string minor third, perfect fourth, major third, minor third, perfect fourth. But strange things are going to happen when we bring those two strings over, and let's look at that. So from the beginning, let's just look at 6 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we don't have the numbers to easily go, hey, there's 3 to 3, cut that out, that's 6 strings. So we got to count them because we have some blanks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Carefully remove this part so we make sure we got the right number of strings. And now how easy I can just bring this over. So paint allows me to do that. There should be your Lone Wolf 7. And there's the root. So this is a G shape with the Ionian root arpeggio shown. Okay, so if I start that up here, let's say just yellow to yellow, I have a yellow note up here. So I'm going to do a G-shaped C root arpeggio would be just like that. So it's easy to play for me, and you get to see what shape it is. Guess what? This is a G-shaped root. G-shaped roots are, G is always a root shape on the bottom 3 strings. G-shaped root right there. Okay, so that's a very familiar 3 notes right there. And that's like the bottom part of a G box, right? So in the key of G, it'd be, here's your G box, here's your G chord, big open chord. And then you have, so that bottom 3 strings is root. And from here, if I'm doing it in C, I can just, I'll have this repeating. That's it. It's just I had to bring these 2 guys up here for the tuning warp, the tuning adjustment. So I'm using paint to do this. Let's do one more. Let's just arbitrarily, let's just take it from the 5th, from that 5 there, We can call it what it call it. There it is, 5 to 5 right there. So it's easy for us to select 6 strings because when you have a 10 string repeating pattern, that is all 5 instances, CAGED, of 6 strings. So there we have now 5 to 5 here, and in Paint I can just move this over here and we'll see what shape it becomes. It's going to be A-shaped. I know it's going to be A-shaped because there's your A on the bottom. The bottom string shape becomes the shape of the cage. So, but this is now your a cage bound arpeggio. And guess what? It doesn't start on root. It starts on the 5th. So it's like this. Actually, accurately, it is. That's it. There's not much to it. There's just 7 notes there. 1 per string, and then add an extra note for the on string. It's going to be 1 inversion past the initial inversion. So 1 past. Second inversion is root 3/5 there. So that's how that plays there. So starting, let's say I start on a 5 here. This is a G. It would go on string there. Okay, so we can use the same techniques of grabbing 6 strings there. Okay, and of course we can draw the fret nut there if we wanted to do it in the open string, but you can do it from any note you decide to call the 5th. So whatever key you're in, if you're in the key of C sharp or something, right, that 5th would be G sharp. So you could start that pattern here. Top string there, the 5th, is your G sharp, which is the 5th of C sharp. Okay, so it'd be almost as if you just moved this thing up like that, played your 5 there. So this note should be C sharp. Okay, so let's move along in the chart. So we start, this is the Ionian arpeggio, and you get all 3 inversions there. You get root, you get first inversion, which would be 3/5 root, and you get second inversion, which is 5 root 3. So by doing arpeggios, whether they're cage bound, this is a pattern stack, whether they're cage bound, like we just played the A cage bound one, which has to start on one of the notes now. Okay, yeah, actually I didn't go back all the way there. There we go. That's the whole pattern. So I'm doing this in Paint for you, but it's a little harder to kind of zoom in and out. Paint doesn't want to zoom in and out easily. At least the way I have it set up. So the next in the modes, you know, the modes. Those are the modes. So we got Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, and Ionian again. So this is the Dorian mode. It's the second minor. I haven't put that on the chart.